competition, Travis Cloakes. That's a huge task.
Yeah, well, when you have a look at the matchups, there's only two talls down back in Rance and Chaplin, so Chaplin will go to Lynch. Rance will have first crack at Cloak, and that is going to be a ripping battle.
Jackson starting on the wing for the Tigers. Marty Clark, his opponent, looked to Jackson to go in and pick up one of the key midfielders for the Collingwood Footy Club in Swan or Pendlebury.
We can't wait, and we wait no longer. It is Richmond, it is Collingwood, it is the MCG, and 80,000 people get into it. And Morris has the first control of the ball, and the Tigers are able to just work things from half-back, and the captain doesn't take long to get his first disposal, and he shares it with Delidio. So some of those damaging, potentially menacing players are up and running. He kicked the goal early last week. This time he's combined to get it deep. Martin, across the face it goes, and Vickery's able just to, well, kept it in momentarily only.
In fact, it's been Reid that started on Jack Revolt. Nathan Brown is picking up Vickery, and that's probably more to do with the fact that Revolt's playing further from goal than Vickery is, and they'll probably just play on whoever's closest to goal.
You'd suspect so. Hudson got the tap down, and the Tigers are trying to spin it around. There's no way out for Cochin. We've seen some very high-scoring footy. We saw it last night. We've seen it in a lot of matches. It'll be fascinating to see if this turns out the same way. And if it is played fast, you'd think the Tigers would be right in the mix.
I'll tell you what is an interesting matchup at the moment. Luke McGuan, who's been a very good third tall, has got Heath Shaw as an opponent. Now, if the ball's in the air, that's going to seriously favour McGuan, but look out when it hits the deck for Shaw to do the rebounding.
O'Brien, who's been spending his time up the ground, and this time the exit kick, not as he would have liked. Pettard takes the mark.
He sets it up well, Pettard. He gets in that zone really well. He intercept marks a fair bit.
Oh, Revolt! What about that for a statement to start the day?
That is an old-fashioned pack mark. In the middle of a pack of players, Jack Revolt has just risen above. And he's a man that you kind of think enjoys a big occasion, a big crowd like this. It could bring out, look, they're all there. Vickery, McGuan, their opponents. It's a six-man pack, and he split them straight up the middle.
Well, that is some mark to start proceedings. He's looking up, looking ahead, knows where he's got to kick the ball. 2 minutes in, Jack Revolt. Watch those Tiger fans behind the goals. They are up and about.
Well, you love to see that. The fans rise as one. Revolt, an excellent goal, excellent start to this game, Jace. That was a fantastic leap, as you mentioned, to split the pack completely open. And Reid, with a little bit of an injury cloud going in, Revolt will look to get him up and run him around a little bit. Try and see if he can have any effect on that right knee of Reid. But that's just a pure jump from Revolt. Up over the top.
It's a heck of a mark, John, to start the day.
And he'll be, I'll tell you what, he'll be talking later on to Tyrone Vickery saying, thank you for the step ladder job. That was perfect.
Well, last week he came home with a rash, of course. But he started brilliantly this afternoon. Richmond with the opening goal. Ben Hudson been entrusted with the #1 ruck duties in the absence of Darren Jolly. So it's the beard and the mullet wins this tap down. He had no opposition, as it turned out.
Hudson slipped over.
Yeah, Morris, good play by Hudson, though, good follow-up stuff, and that's been one of his strengths over the years. Pendlebury, the escape wasn't complete, still not. Josh Thomas, Dale Thomas starting as the sub, which was somewhat of a surprise. Let's get to you on that, Kingy, as we see a ball up. But you don't mind that decision if Dale Thomas is the sub?
I think it's a great decision, Hutto, when he comes on halfway through the third term. He'll know where to go to get possession, and he knows how to hit the scoreboard. Terrific substitute.
Josh Thomas in game 2. Pendlebury's been right in the thick of the action. Hasn't had a massive impact just yet. Here's Cloak versus Rance, and there's the first show of strength for the afternoon from the experienced forward for the Pies. Now, Elliott, so deadly, so dangerous early in matches. You think he was held onto for a long time. No, the incorrect disposal.
Oh, that's a shocking kick.
He was lucky that Lynch wasn't watching and didn't see the true path of the ball. Dustin Martin storming away from half-back the Tigers. The crowd already at fever pitch, really getting behind this Tiger team as Martin kicks it out to the wing to Edwards, who's also proved himself a valuable avenue to goal. He could go long to Revolt, but instead he goes short.
Really good vision. Really good vision. Sometimes it takes a smart player to actually ignore the leads of the forward because you automatically turn around and think, where's Jack Revolt, where's Tyrone Vickery leading to? But when you can see a loose player...
That's a strange give for mine. Why do you would handball outside defence, outside the forward 50?
We've seen that a fair bit over the first 3 rounds of footy. Where a
He's only 45 out.
Exactly right. A player having a set shot, Briggs a good kick at the footy. Go back and have the set shot.
To me, that's a dumb way to cap off a smart bit of lead-up play.
So penalty to Jordan Russell.
I know that's twice in a row that the Richmond Football Club have been able to go from half-back inside the forward 50 to score. Early concerns for the defensive press of the Pies.
So Josh Thomas takes him out to the wing. Blair. And again, not great service for the forward line. The Tiger defence able to close. Grimes walked over.
Didn't come up on screen then, but Jack Riewoldt, excellent cover off from McGuan. He sure bolted through the middle of the ground, and Jack Riewoldt went with him all the way into defensive 50 for Richmond team play.
Hudson's timing was perfect. Got it off to O'Brien and Clark and McCaff for the late inclusion. In for Goldsack to half forward. Elliott Morris, you'd think, is the perfect man for him. Blair getting busy early. Here's Josh Thomas. He missed Elliott as a second crack. Jackson there to pounce. Delidio working both ends of the ground. Pettit, a man who once kicked 4 goals against Collingwood for the Demons. And the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
It's getting a little bit of space here, the Richmond players, on this outer wing, half-back flank type area, and their ball use is supreme at the moment. They're making Collingwood defend for longer.
24 disposals to 9 so far. The Pies haven't hit the scoreboard.
And they haven't hit the target either. We saw the efficiency rate there very high at 83% for Richmond, but decidedly lower for the Pies.
There's a shove in the back. And it's going to Blair.
At the moment, it looks like Swan and Delidio are running with each other, which is a very interesting battle.
He went super short to Thomas. No immediate targets for him. Cloak about 5 metres inside the line. There he is, inside the boundary, wrestling. So free against Travis Cloak.
And that's important for Alex Rance to do that early, to get his positioning right in those battles, because he is a monster, Travis Cloak, and he had really good balance pushing Cloak under the footy there.
Be interesting to see whether they can really isolate Cloak this afternoon, or whether the Tiger defence can help out. That, I think, came off the
Falcon.
Yep, the head of Tuck for Solo.
Great tackle.
And he gets a really warm welcome to Saturday afternoon at the MCG, Richmond style.
They got the start they wanted, the Tigers.
McGuan
need to capitalise on the scoreboard, kick a couple of early goals and really get themselves up and about.
Vickery doesn't really give him anything down the line yet. Now he's there as the target. And really had Collingwood players swarming everywhere.
He was always going to have to go down the line. He just needed to pull that trigger a little bit earlier. Vickery one-on-one to allow then a ball to come front and centre and his teammates to run onto it, rather than just hold it up and then make it go to the 2-on-1.
Well, it was McGuan's opponent that took the mark, wasn't it, in Shaw? This is Brown now, swings it out to the wing. Side bottom takes it. Quite a week last week, but a reasonable start the first couple of rounds for Steele side bottom. The midfield still minus Dane Beams, of course. And Luke Ball to come back shortly. But not much on offer for Collingwood fans at this early stage.
Their disposal by foot hasn't been great in the first 7 minutes of play. They've turned the ball over, haven't kicked it well at all.
Marich this time had to counter Lynch. Tuck doing what he does. The quick clearance. Jordan Russell in the middle. Oh, Revolt got an opportunity. Kicked it in straight away. Reed went to ground. Oh, too good to be true. Vickery puts it through. And the Tigers 2-1-13. And the Pies yet to get on the board, 8.5 in.
I'm sure we sound like broken records at times, but if you keep your feet in a contest, you'll win it nearly every single time. And have a look at Reed, the despairing dive, but as soon as you go to ground, you're out. He's jogging into goal. Tyrone Vickery did the right thing. He didn't panic. He didn't rush it. As soon as his opponent went to ground, he had all the time in the world. Jack Riewoldt started in excited fashion, hasn't he?
Oh, he's been very good early, very clean early, and that's the pleasing aspect of Jack Riewoldt's game in the early part of this first quarter.
So, Ty Vickery, who started the season in great style with 3 goals in week 1. And the Pies are in quickly. High kick from side bottom, but quickly taken away by Chaplin with a drifting roll. And Pettit leaves. He was called in for Newman.
Well, that's going to work perfectly for Richmond when Lynch goes into the ruck. it allows Chaplin to play that floating tall down back behind the footy, and he'll come across and try and help out Alex Rance in all those sort of contests. Let Rance do the body on body, and then he gets a free run and mark at the footy.
Martin finds Rance in that back pocket.
They've done this really well, Hutto. They've opened them up again here. If he drives this long to the half-back flank, they've got a player out in Delidio in space. So it's Newman, sorry, in space, but just got held up there. They've been able to work Collingwood over.
They have. He didn't think he was quite audacious enough to take that kick, Kingy, but didn't panic, and they found another way. They get to the wing despite the efforts of Marriage. Slapped back by Tark. He knew there was more Tigers there than Pies, but the desperation was very good, and the leadership in there.
You look at mindset from the Collingwood Football Club. Marriage ran away from Vasolo to make the lead on that point. You think that's the mismatch that Collingwood should be able to expose.
This is what Collingwood will try and do. Get Heath Shaw to run and carry with McGuan as his opponent.
And this is Dwyer, and he turned them inside out and into the square. Here's Cloak. Nothing Rance could do.
Well, you can see what Collingwood want to do with that Shaw-McGuan matchup. They're saying, if we think that he's not going to dominate in there, he might take 1 or 2 marks, but as long as he doesn't just start catching everything and kicking goals, we'll back Heath Shaw to have a massive impact going the other way. He's going to be the go-to guy. Whenever they win it around halfback or the wing, look for him to be running by, and then he had the time to run, carry, have a bounce, and find a target in Dwyer, who then didn't panic either. Terrific pass to Cloak. 9
goals, 8 for the season. He's pretty good from this side, generally, Travis Cloak. He knows the angles. And it's through. A steadier for the Pies, their first of the afternoon. Just starting to get a bit more of the footy.
They have, and back through the corridor as well on this occasion. Steel side bottom. Nice handball received there by Shaw. And that's what you need. Wasn't a great kick. Their disposal hasn't been that good in the first quarter so far. But Dwyer was excellent, and that was the one. The last kick needed to be pure. It was. And Cloak, excellent. This great camera work. You see the body, gets good body on Rance early, gets that tiny separation, all that he needed to take a good mark.
He's just come off for a quick rest, Heath Shaw, but Luke McGuan's going to have to make sure that he gets on the defensive side of Heath Shaw whenever Collingwood have the footy. He can't allow him to get goal side.
Richmond by 7 now. Vickery takes his turn against Lynch, and Lynch won it conclusively. Fasolo gets his opportunity in the midfield as well, but it comes Edwards' way, and therefore it comes Richmond's way. Knight's got a taste of it last week. One-on-one with Seedsman, who goes to ground and earns himself a free.
He did well, Seedsman cut the angle then. The kick wasn't great out to Knights. Seedsman did fantastic work in just cutting the angle off.
Fasolo bubbling away in the middle. Not good service really for Elliott, but he can run back smartly. Pennard provides the cover.
Great tackle.
He hung on for dear life, then had to. Jackson, a little bit of a fumble the first time, and that opens it up to all comers, and they close on out. We're going to have a ball up.
I like Alex Fasolo running up through the midfield. He's a clever player, normally a very good kick of the footy. I think he can be extremely creative through the middle of the ground.
Well, they've needed to find some extra ones, haven't they, with their injuries? And so they're giving them all a bit of a crack. Marty Clark able to steady, and that second just enabled him to hit up a target.
And he in range?
Of course he is.
Well, he looks like he's going to have the shot. Yeah.
Well, everyone stopped. All
Mouthguard into the sock.
Of course, the old days he'd take the glove off, but these days he leaves it on.
You know, by the time he clears the man on the mark, it's going to have to be a 60-metre drop punt.
The man on the mark, as you can see, is just inside the 50. He goes out wide to give himself a little bit more leverage, and it wasn't a good strike at all. Cloak couldn't. Swan hasn't seen much of him yet in his milestone game. Dane Swan, just the one disposal so far. And it's a behind, so it's back to 1 goal of difference.
Dustin Martin, the leading possession getter early on in this match. He has 6 already.
And he's become a real uncontested player as well as a grunt player, hasn't he? Oh, there's Nathan Brown with a lift. Scratching around. Blair didn't have any Collingwood mates to get it to. They're scrambling away. Martin again, but it's getting further into Collingwood territory. Swan and Pendlebury. Seedsman was able to keep it moving. Side bottom. Clever around goals. So very clever, but not clever enough.
So hit the post, I think.
That's the game at the moment, Jace. If Richmond can get out of their back 50 in a pure sense and find a couple of targets, they look likely to score. They've certainly got the work ethic at the moment. Just their ball use starting to let them down.
Look like they've got a bit more outside spread, Kingy, don't they?
Oh, Vickery, that gives him some strength in the air from the hurley kick. Now, Jackson had nothing at all. The cupboard was bare as he looked up. So that's actually not a bad result for them, just to tread water. And it's getting better, although Jackson still had more Collingwood players ahead of him, and he finds one of them in Reid, who didn't look quite comfortable, you have to say, in that circumstance. Shaw whips it back. Here's Tuck. It's about meterage at the moment for Richmond. Knights pushing hard the other way is Clark. Knights goes in again and wraps up a good tackle on Clark. Spinning through side bottom. Hudson got a piece of it. It's in Richmond hands now. Grigg. Martin again, his 8th disposal. Shapes the kick. McGuan or Revolt. Revolt or McGuan. And over the top, the fist came from an unlikely source. It was Shaw and Shaw again.
Great play.
And it's out of bounds.
Shaw worked hard. He went back to Rewalt the matchup because Rewalt had got out of the back of the contest when it was working at half forward for Richmond. That's the third eye at the other end. There it is there. That's the point to Collingwood.
Blair couldn't, but Tuck could. Although it's out of bounds on the full, or is it a behind? It's out on the full. So we're past the midpoint of the opening term, and this is not a free-flowing affair like we saw last night. Just the 3 goals kicked so far. And he's sure to bring it back. Cloak's having a rest for the Pies at the other end. And Lynch is gone as the key forward, along with Dane Swan. Reid marks the kick in. Looks up, sees nothing down the middle. There was an element of danger in the kick, but Tuvey, who's watching Jake King today, does it well. O'Brien. Now they lift it up a notch or two and find a way through the middle. Some pressure on, but Ali was able to move it. O'Brien for Clark. So as I mentioned, Lynch is the long target here. Goes short, a bit of a middling kick really. Richmond had the numbers, but Collingwood able to keep it in their forward half for the moment at least.
A little bit of a change-up in the way Collingwood normally would go long in that situation. Even Harry O'Brien lowered his eyes through the middle of the ground.
Hudson just spiked it into the 50. And that could spell danger for Richmond. Although sweeping through effectively was Hooley. Jackson able to share it with a much improved Conker. And eventually the Tigers get it out of there. I have to say their captain Cochin hasn't had a big, massive influence yet. He has had 4 disposals, but all handballs so far. This is Brown with the intercept mark. So it's been Martin with 8 disposals and Pendlebury and Sidebottom with 5 each. So far have had the most numbers. There's Blair freeing up Sinclair. He's on a bit of a roll from 60 out. So he does set it up. Sidebottom just trying to work out where Newman was. It was a great contest. Dwyer had it knocked away. Hurley followed up his spoil. Got some help from Grigg and Morris. Great combination from the Tigers. Morris to a one-on-one. Jake King had to contend with the sun. Eventually got through with flying colours. Grigg was on his wrong side, so he handballed to Marriage. Just a moment's concern for him. So too with Grigg and Hooley, and now Delidio. Knights that come from one side to the other, all by hand. What's it going to end with? It ends with some confusion and uncertainty from Conker, but he was unflustered, and Delidio just goes and puts it forward, and they keep advancing. Grigg, but that's where it ends. And it's Collingwood through Sinclair. Darting back, he got some reinforcements. Pendlebury and Brown. And now the Tigers go again. What are you seeing out there, James?
You mentioned plenty of handball there. Hutto, 35 kicks, 37 handballs. They haven't got the ratio right so far in this game.
Well, that's probably as a result of pressure to some degree, isn't it? It's a good reflection on some of the defensive skills. Cloak just eased the kick, hoping that Swan would get on the end of it. Chaplin was just a fraction too attentive.
And he didn't need to be, because I don't think Dane Swan was ever going to mark that footy. You talk about the overuse of the hand pass for Richmond. A chain of hand passes is okay if they're flat handballs. As soon as you start having to go over top of someone, all it does is put the receiving player under pressure, because he's got to stand and wait, and he normally gets tackled before he's got time to settle and get rid of the footy.
Well, 160 goals in his now 200-game career. He's almost been good for a goal a game, Dane Swan. It's been part of what's made him such a force as a midfielder. That one, though, was just a bit too tough a task. Still just 3 goals in the game.
Well, there's plenty of pressure out there, Hutto. You sense that, and Collingwood pushing up, and Richmond trying to work through with handball at the moment, but this is better. Release by foot, get some yardage in their play.
McGuan was the target on the way out for Cochin.
So at this stoppage, you've got Pendlebury and Cochin head-to-head.
Collingwood now in front of the inside 50s, interestingly enough, 11-5. Delidio been good so far when he's had the ball. He's been forced to handball. He hasn't quite been able to get into the clear as much as he would have liked. There's Dwyer, who's been a terrific story. Russell, the former Blue, of course. Knights, good pressure from Russell, but it comes out Richmond's way. Now Delidio, he can go. This is the way he runs. This is the way he bounces, but he just kicks it across the face. And is it on the floor? Yeah.
I'll tell you what I like about that play there. Heath Shaw left his man very early because he read it. All the Richmond players led back to goal thinking Brett Delidio will run, bounce, kick the goal. Heath Shaw from the left of screen leaves his opponent very, very early on and makes him kick from just outside 50.
It's going to be a tough day in the coach's box, you would sense, for both. There's a big grab from Quinton Lynch showing his value. Hard lead from Cloak. He takes it where to next. Glances into the forward line. Swan busting a gut to get back there. They got the odds against him here with 2 Tigers to contend with, but he marks it anyway and decides to go on. Fasolo will be the beneficiary. Bang.
That's the big loopy hand pass, that
Just took a bit long to get there, didn't it? And Cochin takes the mark, and the Tigers have got the numerical advantage out this side, but he doesn't want to risk it.
It was a nice long hand pass on the left hand, but it needed to be a kick on the left foot because then when he catches it, he has the set shot.
Shove in the back, advantage should be paid, and is. Knights. And frustration there for Delidio.
I'll tell you what they will know as we see this great tackle in the square there from Hooley just making up late ground. We know that Richmond are outworking them on the wings here. They're getting players free. They haven't cashed in just yet, but it would be causing Nathan Buckley some concerns.
Hudson from behind. Josh Thomas. Oh, bit of tunnel action there. Tunnel ball action. Jordan Russell feels Conker's aggression. What have you made then of the King? What have you made of the midfield battle so far from down there?
Yeah, Cochin's the one. He's handballing at the moment. He's rather than kicking. He just needs to explode and use his angles and his creativity. They really need him to get involved in the game.
Josh Thomas watching particularly at the stoppages. So this is Morris into the middle. The setup is with Chaplin. Vickery would have been the long target. They've decided to wait for that. And instead it's Jackson. Hard lead comes from Jake King. Vickery it goes as well, but he did try and honour the King lead. And he's able to gather it, but he had no awareness, or it didn't appear to, of what was behind. Tackle not rewarded, but Collingwood can get it. A big escape here from Harry O'Brien. Look at him charge through the middle. And he does keep going, Harry. And team orientated all the way. He could well have just puffed out the cheeks and gone for goal himself. Instead, Cloak sets it up. He'll need Fasolo to fly. He went one-handed, and as it turns out, it was nearly good enough.
Pendlebury looking for a handball there. You could see if he just had a bend over and flick up to Pendlebury, open goal spread. This is King here, just the awareness. Need to pick it up and get on the boot straight away because this is the result. Harry O, big dash through the middle of the MCG.
Looks like a very even contest, but Collingwood have had 13-7 inside 50, so playing plenty of the game at the right end. Only problem for Collingwood at this stage, a little bit one-dimensional going forward in looking for Travis Cloak.
Conker. Kick was good enough. Finds Grigg at half-back, but they've been held up here. The progress restricted. They're just small little passes. Conker wants to give to Martin, but can't on this occasion. 2-1 Richmond, 1-4 Collingwood. Grigg to half-forward. To a genuine one-on-one. McGuan and Shaw. He's done well there, Shaw. Got the fist in on the taller player. Tuck. Look at him go. Tuck. Puts the head down, the bottom up, and charges towards goal. Vickery, was he being held? He was looking for the free. Now he's found the footy, and he did it so well. King! No.
Was it just me, John? Or was Tyrone Vickery looking at the umpire waiting for a free kick while the ball was right in front of him?
It's either that or the sun. I'm not too sure. King's probably the best to answer that.
Oh, almost the kick-in calamity. Josh Thomas tries to rectify the situation and does. Ben Reid just bangs it out of there. Grimes goes to ground and earns a free.
Be careful not to give away 50 here, Marty Clark. He was a long way over the mark.
He still is. But the umpire said, that's all right where you are.
I think he got away with murder there.
So Dylan Grimes. 2 minutes to go in the opening term. Revolt looking likely again. Couldn't get the run up he would have liked. Here's Cochin and Pendlebury, two of the game's best in the midfield. And it's over and out.
Look at Tyrone Vickery here. Is it the sun, or is he just found himself a little bit disoriented?
Slap down came from Tuck. Martin had a big first quarter. Jackson to the square. Brown from behind Vickery. Revolt snatched it and was quickly shut down. McGawn and Pendlebury tangled just for a moment. It looked like it might have amounted to something more than it did.
There's the forward efficiency for the match. Richmond 10 inside 50s, 2 goals, 2. Collingwood 1 goal, 4 from their 13 entries.
Jordan Russell and Tapp neither giving an inch. A minute 44 in this opening quarter. One more goal. It'd be so valuable if Richmond could get one here and lead by 10 at quarter time. That would be a lovely way to start. But likewise, Collingwood have got the opportunity to take it to the other end if they can. Right now they're defending gamely because Richmond had the footy. Martin found a way out to Morris, not 15. Sets it up for Tuvey and King. Tuvey was the first to react, and you could see the result of it, but there was Richmond players everywhere. Wrong side for Grigg. What's he come up with? A real up and under to the square. And McGawn, not known for his snapping prowess.
Well, nearly an impossible angle the way he tried to kick that one. It's gone straight across the face. You can see Damien Hardwick, he's on edge as well. They've had some opportunities. Both teams have had opportunities in the first term. One thing you don't want to do on a match like today. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, indeed.
I was going to say, you don't want to waste opportunities. And Sam Dwyer, just a little bit overconfident with the foot skills. They're great when they come off, hitting the corridor, coming out of defence, but you need to make sure that your teammate is clear. And he had 2 or 3 Richmond players closing in on him.
He's getting a few words of instruction from teammates as he heads towards the bench, but it's Ivan Maric who has the duty of trying to make them pay, but not full tote there if it ends there, just the behind, and that's a big miss.
That's a lucky let-off.
And a psychological miss too, when there's such a mistake like that.
Yeah, exactly right. One thing you do want to do is punish them, and that's 20 metres out directly in front of, it doesn't matter who you are, you've got to kick that, and you should kick that 99 times out of 100.
What a great noise around the MCG. It's looking at its best this afternoon. Beautiful afternoon for Saturday afternoon footy. It's a great old-fashioned day at the G.
Kingy, just talking about the size of the crowd and the way that players are a little bit shaky. Has it got the pressure of a finals feeling down there?
Well, it has got the emotion. There's no doubt the atmosphere is all in favour of Richmond. They just need some reward, the crowd. They want to get involved.
Josh Thomas, Newman, into the 50. Edwards, you could see the thought process going through his mind. It ended with McGawan and Jake King. Spears it at goal! They get that extra one just before the break, and the Richmond fans are already in full voice at the G. They lead by 11 at quarter time.
Well, we saw Nathan Buckley down on the boundary side getting ready for quarter time. I reckon there's nothing that a coach hates worse than when you concede a goal in the dying seconds. We saw a great shepherd from Shane Edwards here. Just takes out Heath Shaw, and then Jake King. That's a good finish. I reckon that's the most painful thing for a coach in the dying seconds.
Oh, it's an excellent finish by Jake King, and that's the reward that the Richmond faithful were after. And that gets them up and going into quarter time.
3-3-21 to 1-4-10. It will be Richmond's advantage at quarter time. As the siren rings out around the MCG, and the Tiger fans already rising here. Nathan Buckley with some issues, but the margin is just 11 points.
It's been a good start by the Tigers. They got a little bit of a reward late there, but 13 to 11, the inside 50s. Both teams have had.
It's really get involved in the game.
What do you reckon early here, Jason? What are you looking for?
Look, I think there's a lot of upside also for Collingwood. I don't think they're playing particularly well. Now, whether that's because Richmond's not allowing them to play well, we're about to find out. They'd love to see Dane Swan get more involved. Just 4 touches for Swan.
Well, we are about to find out. Second quarter from the MCG. Hudson and Marich, and Hudson did well. Conkers having his opportunity in the midfield.
Thank you.
And he's been another one who's been a real bonus for them so far this year. As a high draft pick to really start winning lots of the footy. It's all about midfield depth, and the top end's pretty fair as well. Delidio gives everyone an opportunity from all angles. Such a high kick. And now Revolt is getting accustomed to not always being the high flyer. Blair getting back, digging in for the Pies, but he had no mates around him, and he needed a little bit of the rub of the green, and in the end, the
slide in.
Yep.
Do you know what I like about Jack Riewoldz's game, though, in 2013? He's getting involved in a lot more different ways than he normally does. Not just about taking a mark and having a shot.
Well, again, an aggressive kick in the middle, and it paid dividends with Blair. Rance, look at the desperation. Thumped it away. Got it out into the spaces. And he's relying on the likes of Grigg and Hooley to be able to run onto it. Hooley that time knocked it away. Martin, and he just stole it. Just took it away and gave it to Delidio and opened up so many doors through the middle of the ground. And now out to the wing to Jackson. He can go running. Yeah, can go back inside. And he waited till Conker got into a more dangerous place, which sees him sit from 70. He ignored Cochin and he went instead to King, who just couldn't quite cling on. Cochin stepped up, knew he had to, just couldn't hook it back enough.
Missed opportunity. I mean, it wasn't a pure kick, but Jake King probably should have taken the mark and should be having a shot for goal. So started well again, the Tigers.
But the difference was use by foot across half-back. They got the spare man out in the wing, and were able to capitalise on some good forward play, Richmond, on that occasion.
So penalty deep in defence.
Jace, they can't go with them on the counter-attack here, Collingwood.
Richmond, they're a bit quick, the Tigers, aren't they?
They are. They're getting into space. Good space on the wings. Their speed off half-back is a concern, and I'm not sure there's much they can do about it structurally from the coach's box.
I was going to say, what can they try and do to counter that? Can they find another way, Kingy?
Well, they need to do this. They need to chip and mark the ball uncontested, Collingwood, and make the Richmond Football Club defend for longer. They seem to be doing a lot of the defending at the moment.
Tigers lead by 12 here. And that could well have been high contact on Travis Cloke. Marriage clean again to Conker. It is a real skyscraper. Vickery mistimed his leap, gave away the free.
Push under the footy.
Okay, he's got the free.
Yeah, look, he was trying to protect his teammate Nathan Brown, but he just pushed Vickery under the ball.
All right, Vickery, let's fly to full forward. One-on-one, it's Shaw and Riewoldt. Surely that'll favour Richmond, but it doesn't. Shaw, what an unbelievable player he's been for the Pies over so many years now.
I'll tell you what, they wouldn't want to allow that to happen too often. I mean, he's very good. He's sure a couple of times today he's had to go back and cover it, but you wouldn't want to see him having to do this too often.
He just pulled his arm away at the right time. He was about to give away a free. Again, his experience on show. Cafford basically gave it to Hudson. And Cochin stole it back. Blair, busy again. Oh, the runner right in the wrong spot. Grimes fended it away. Hooley ignored Grimes because he had more attacking options through the middle of the ground. Pedder, not the time for a fumble, and he gave it up a second time. Now Clark, they can get going through the middle of the ground. Had a few options, puts it into space. Side bottom, was able to fill that space and relish the opportunity, but misses on the left.
Gee, I tell you what, it's a shame that Marty Clark didn't look out to the other side. He had a loose player, I think it was Elliott, streaming forward. Would have strolled in and kicked a goal.
Knights takes the mark. There's been some mistakes in this game, hasn't there? And you sort of feel that those mistakes, whoever can make the least of them, is going to really help their cause, because it's such a big stage.
Yeah, but every time the Tigers over handball, that's when they get themselves in trouble.
Swan to Hudson. Clark again. For Solo in the build-up. They're running hard out wide. Elliott running. Elliott bouncing. Elliott kicking to Cloke.
Great kick. Now, see, that's just a clever kick. He weighed up the option of, well, having a shot on the run, which he wasn't overly confident of, but he saw Cloke in space, in the corridor, makes it a much easier shot for goal than kicking it on the run. You can see Travis Cloke pointing to the space that he's heading to. That made it very easy for Jamie Elliott.
Doesn't get a lot of shots from this position, Travis Cloke, normally leading to one side or the other.
Struck it well in the first quarter, so confidence should be up.
He's kicked both their goals so far. They really needed that one, and Travis Cloke provides.
They needed one to steady the Collingwood Footy Club. Great play by Elliott, you mentioned it. Just the vision to come inside, because look, they win a big ball there. Swan did excellent work on Marriage, got the ball going forward. Collingwood players worked well together, and Elliott's hit the scoreboard quite regularly the last 2 weeks. Expected him to have a shot on that occasion as well to hit the scoreboard and get going in the game, but just unselfish, saw Cloke, got into his vision, good lead, good goal.
The reason they created the turnover, Richmond, too many handballs. Should have kicked the footy out of defence. Their foot skills have been good, but too many handballs are bringing them undone at times.
Jason Dunstall and Brad Johnson bring you the insights along with David King this afternoon from the MCG. There's plenty of things to keep an eye on The Pies have closed the gap. Martin slapped it forward. Knights versus Russell. Oh, just slightly overdid it. And free kick goes to Chris Knights. It was a big kick of the footy at his best.
Possession number 9 coming up. Hasn't used it perfectly, but he's getting plenty of it.
Took something off the kick, and Reebok just strolled down.
Well, that's a great kick, though. That's into space. That's where the forward wants it. Because then if the forward attacks the footy and marks it as far out in front of him as he can, it makes it impossible for the defender to spoil. The only way the defender can spoil that is to chop the arms, and that gives away a free kick anyway.
So Jack Revolt started the afternoon with a goal, and now early in the second looking to do the same to restore this 11-point lead. At one end, Travis Cloak has kicked 2 goals. At the other,
He leant back on it.
Jack Revolt missing a couple of chances, but it's not going to hurt because McGuan was on the spot.
Now, we spoke about late goals annoying coaches. When you've got 3 defenders down on the goal line and there's only 1 forward and nobody's paying attention to what's happening with the football, he would be grinding his teeth, I suspect. It's 3-on-1. 3-on-1, and he strolls in and kicks the goal. Well, that's unforgivable.
You can never relax, and you can just see Collingwood players were relaxing, and Rewald's got this 40 metres out. He's going to make the distance easy. He's going to kick this, right through the middle of the goals. Therefore, he miskicks it. McGuan is turning into quite a smart forward. McGuan on the back of playing in defence for so long, and that's the reaction you're talking about.
That's the one. 3-on-1, and he's going, how on earth can you concede a goal there?
Marriage for Tuck. Blair goes to ground. Josh Thomas is in there. The umpire let it roll for a while, but now he doesn't. Martin looking for a free from the umpire.
The other thing, Jace, I think that Marriage is working him over here, Hudson and Lynch. He's really pushing forward on them. I just think fatigue's become an issue for these ruckmen at this stage.
Well, he didn't get up to spoil that ball, did he?
Sinclair. Blair versus Pettard. Pettard won the first battle, not the second. Josh Thomas, quick path to goal through Sinclair's hands. And Fasolo, who is paid to kick those, misses. Tough shot, but they're the ones that can make all the difference.
I reckon he's going to be an important substitution at some stage today.
How early do they pull the trigger? 2-6 Collingwood. 4-4 Richmond. Margin 10. Hooley to half-back. Marriage the big target, but Quinton Lynch. Been a very good pick-up for them with the evidence we've seen so far as any indication of what's to come. High ball. No Cloak down there. Instead, it's Elliott.
Gee, Dylan Grimes will be disappointed with that effort.
Oh, he plays on and passes into the middle. Why, oh, why? We're still pondering, but play goes on. And the Tigers through Newman first, and then Chaplin. Under pressure, Knights did what he could. Out to the wing, Seedsman. And it's going to hurt as it came back quickly the other way for Solo.
They'll get a second attempt at goal here, but Nathan Buckley must be scratching his head. I don't know that that's an easier shot for goal for Marty Clark. I think I'd rather have Alex Fasolo kicking for goal for mine, but they've just conceded one where it was 1 against 3. As he kicked that quickly.
He did, very quick.
It's through. Back to 4 points.
That's the way for Marty Clark.
I think we just saw
like over a puck, Jace. Don't think about it, just go back.
That's a new goal kick routine. He just said, I'm not even going to think about this, back and kick. But Fasolo's a beautiful kick of the footy, so you wonder why he's passing them off. Have a look at this, though. He's just back. The umpire's barely got there to set up the mark, and he just plays on. He actually plays on to kick it. It's a man that's not confident in his routine, and now Damien Hardwick has a time to just reflect on what wasn't done properly.
His second goal of the season, Marty Clark.
Hope he doesn't get one after the siren, Marty Clark. He's going to be in trouble.
Richmond lead by 4. Beautiful bounce this time in the middle. Vickery and Lynch clash hard. Delidio, Tuck, heaves it onto the boot. Takes them out wide. Here's Revolt pushing, and Reed showed him how to do it that time. Jordan Russell had to let it bounce. And in the end, it's a wily old defence. Takes it over the line and out of bounds. Not a bad result either, though, for Richmond.
Well, it's a great result for the Tigers. Keep the ball in their forward half of the ground. Back themselves in around these stoppages now.
Josh Thomas watching Delidio now. Pendlebury and Tuck entwine. There it is. Pendlebury down to Swan. Back to Blair, starting to accumulate the ball. Popping up Elliott on the wing. Straight to Tuck. Hooked it around the corner. The half forward King from behind. Did he get too high? Gee, looked like it from here.
Richmond not hitting those targets that they were hitting in that first quarter. They were using the ball a little bit shorter, a little bit more precise. They've chosen to go with a handball the last 10 or 15 minutes. It's really hurting their half-forward flankers.
Grigg, Conker, McCaffrey. It's not like the shootouts we've seen, Kingy, is it, so far?
It's not, but Richmond just a little bit scrambly with the ball. The Pies haven't really taken their opportunities in front of goal. It's a fascinating game, but Richmond hold the advantage of feel in general play.
Seedsman, Thomas unconvincing, but
Lucky kicked that one.
was able to find the chest of Elliott. O'Brien's broke way to the other side of the ground, and he's seen him, Elliott, and for a moment I thought he was going to kick it. It would have been...
Well, he didn't want to go long because Richmond had a spare back.
Oh,
no.
Grimes opened the door for Cloak, screwed the kick to side bottom, and they're going to be in front here, Collingwood.
Well, they have the spare back, and Pettit apologises. Daniel Jackson goes over and says, don't worry about it. You need to see that from your teammates. You have made a horrendous blunder, but don't dwell on it. Geez, you can see...
you have made a horrendous blunder.
Jared Blair's over there telling him you ducked the head, you did this, you did that, but teammate, and now Cochin gets around him.
We'd be talking about his positioning there. Your positioning was great. Back yourself in next time to go for it.
Well, we've seen some misses so far, but surely this will go through from side bottom. It does. And Collingwood are in front at the MCG. For the first time, the Pies with 4-6-30 lead the Tigers 4-4-28. They've kicked 3 goals to 1 in the quarter.
Again, there's not that much difference in the stats, though. It really is coming down to who's making the most of the opportunities. And at least this time, they probably should have kicked a couple more goals. I wonder if it was going from the sunlight into the shadow, trying to be kind to Ricky Pettit, but he did position himself well. They had the 2-on-1 on Cloak. Cloak didn't even get there to compete, so should have been knocked up by the Tigers. Probably makes up for the one that Richmond kicked 1 against 3 on the goal line.
So still side bottom with 1 goal too. Collingwood in front. Marriage missed it. Worked out by Edwards. Hooley scrambled it. O'Brien had the high knee run, but it was beaten for it by Martin. And now Jackson. The Tigers start to get it together, or do they? No, that's out on the floor.
It's a few times now where Delidio has positioned himself well from the stop. He's worked hard from the centre bounce to create space. And just the use of the ball. They're only going at 61% by foot this half so far, the Tigers. It's just not good enough.
If he gets a good kick there, Delidio, he's away.
That's right.
They're having a scoring option.
And it's an easy kick that they should hit every day.
Big roll of the dice through the middle for the Pies.
I wonder if there is some issues with the sun, because Heath Shaw wouldn't normally drop that either.
McGawn. And now we see King confronted by Brown. He went to ground, not ideal, but Brown was corralling rather than trying to tackle, so he was able to get back on his feet. They've been pushed all the way back to the wing. Morris takes the mark. And he glances into the middle. The sun, as we said, is an issue for anyone who wants to take a grab over there. This is Cochin. So it's a slow build here for the Tigers.
This is better though, Hutto, because it just allows them to set up as they want forward of centre, get the ball in the right hands. The guys like Cochin, Delidio, Grigg, they can really drive in those piercing balls rather than the high ball supply they've got recently.
Pettit does have to go for one of those long bombs, so not ideal. McGawan was there some interference there. Tuck, Marriage, it gets through to McGawan. The efforts of Shaw were good. Now a bouncing ball, Revolt. Reed opens up for Knight. Should have favoured the left. It was curling, wasn't it? But
he rushed it. He just rushed it. He actually could have run in straight, and he did everything right, Chris Knights, except perhaps perceived pressure of the way the game's been played. He didn't take the extra couple of steps.
It is a hot ball, and the crowd have been a big factor in that, as we said. Again, an audacious kick through the middle.
And a ripper.
And it finds Quentin Lynch. And he goes straight for home, hammered it deep. First to read it was Chaplin, the incoming ball. And he takes the mark.
Well read, great confidence from Chaplin to leave Cloak.
Finally, Delidio got the mark, but again, Seedsman was onto him. Forced to use Tuck and then Martin as they swing from one half back to the opposite half forward. So they're just finding it hard to go directly and cleanly, the Tigers at the moment. Confidence starting to build for the Tigers. Thomas, fast play, side bottom, all on his own. And he can lick the lips here, side bottom, but he won't go on with it. He could kick it along to a teammate. In fact, gee, there was just a menu of full of options in there, and it's Seedsman that he chooses.
Morris did that really well for the Tigers. Came in hard, worked the mark really well. Just took the vision away from side bottom. He still got the kick away, but he's gone short, and the shot at goal now is still 40 metres out.
Well, that's not ideal. Seedsman dropping the ball. But now he's got it. More importantly is how he drops it onto the boot. And that's not ideal either.
Kingy, is it a swirly breeze down there? There's a lot of players that just don't look comfortable pulling the trigger.
It's always swirly here at the MCG, Jace, but today is particularly breezy, no doubt. It doesn't favour either end. That's the one thing we do know. The sun's a factor. The sun's really caught players at inopportune times today, and unfortunately they've been made look a little bit foolish.
McQuan tried to push back, but again, Shaw had him covered. Cochin takes it to the wing. Under pressure, Edwards was able to get out of it. Pennard around, now it opens up. Look at Cochin. He's marched on from half-back. He'll go and try and win this ball. He knew where his teammates were, but the Collingwood players were there in sheer numbers. And that force is a powerful force. And Tuvey kept it coming. And they just shake the ball to half-forward for Solo on the second. Takes it, just presses pause from her. Plays the waiting game. Waiting till Cloak. Still waiting for Cloak. And then O'Brien just popped up and the ball didn't quite get there. And now Newman sensed an opportunity. Shared it with Grigg.
Dwight probably could have attacked the footy, but he didn't realise he was the closest man to it.
Vickery, uncomfortable moment where he had to let it bounce, and it goes Collingwood's way. Side bottom gets things organised with Jordan Russell. Back in the middle for Josh Thomas. Margin 2. Pies have held sway in this second term. They're constructing something here. Clark to Swan. Kick goes up again. It was Cloak. He got out the back. He had Chaplin where he wanted him to be. Free kick.
Troy Chaplin, I did not even hold him. Unfortunately. There you go. It was my chest on him, and that's a good way to actually push a player under the ball if you can use your chest, use the body instead of the arms and the hands. But the umpire saw it a different way, and Travis Cloak says, "You're kidding."
I'm not sure he's got a great case, Jace, for our level here.
Well, he's kicked a couple of beauties, Travis Cloak. He's 2 from 2. Can he make it 3 from 3?
As I mentioned, this is generally a bit like Buddy. He's quite good from this side, whereas the old traditional left footer more the other side. So let's see how he fares, Travis Cloak.
Shank. I had a feeling he was in trouble when he threw grass up and didn't look at it.
4-8 to 4-5. Some big misses. Some critical misses from both sides so far. She's tight at the G, that's for sure. 3 points the difference. Richmond just on the back foot at the moment. How will they respond? Conker. Goes for territory, goes for Marriage. Got a big job to do as it drops short. Edwards on the scene now. Grimes has a look behind, likes what he saw. No Pies of any influence. Delidio, they go up a gear. He was screaming for it, Delidio. He didn't see him. Instead, it was the hard lead of Vickery, and it was a tougher path to goal.
He's pleading his case. You can see Jack Revolt with his arms open. I'm surprised that a player of Brett Delidio's experience and quality didn't see him, because he was all on his own, a little inside, just on the edge of the corridor. Jack Revolt would have been a certain goal.
Dane Swan, Reid, confronted by Edwards, and that pressure was enough.
I really like when they push a midfielder to full forward. It looks like it's Edwards at this stage. Martin was just there. The Tigers look really strong in the square with these smalls. Get a lot of goals out of them through the course of 2012.
Margin is 3. Sean Grigg trying to sum things up here. Puts it high. Revolt couldn't get a run at it. Reid was outstanding, but somehow Revolt took it, and I don't think the mark was paid.
No, I think it was offhand.
He played on anyway, and it was out of bounds.
It's just the kick to advantage. You like the kick to be a bit more of an advantage, especially with Marriage down there as well. He could have put it to the side of Marriage, allowed the big ruckman to have a good jump at it.
Well, Tuck grabbed it out of the ruck, and surely that is holding the ball. It is, and the advantage quickly, swiftly taken by Shaw. Looked up though, and he would have seen a lot of Richmond jumpers. That took a lot of skill to get it to Elliott. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it.
Oh, big shepherd. Morris on Elliott, I think it was, and he's a little bit shaken.
High ball to the square. Edwards! The virtually uncontested mark, so close to goal.
There's Elliott on screen after that hit.
He's a bit wobbly. He came at pace, Mark Morris. Have a look at him coming across. Bang, and that catches him high.
But the result is what David King was talking about. Edwards having an impact. The small to medium midfielders for the Tigers having an impact in the forward line.
Edwards, so close to goal. Can't afford to miss, and he knew it. And Richmond are back in front of the MCG.
I loved the way that he was trying to protect a teammate. I think that's all you ask for from Stephen Morris.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's probably going to end up in trouble because he didn't get low enough with the bump. He didn't leave the ground, and he wanted to create space for Jackson to run and carry. He did everything right, except the point of contact is probably going to have him looked at. But it was the right idea from Morris. Doesn't look great on the replay, does it?
And you're right, Jace. That is high contact, but you'd like to see the player protect himself a little bit more too, because Elliott's going to wear some punishment over his career if he doesn't defend himself.
Richmond by 3. Lynch back in the ruck for Collingwood. Cochin got it out, just jammed it on the boot. It could go either way. Morris with the fist. Clark the first to get back on. Look at Morris for his desperation. Clark up to the challenge though. Nice little spinning move too to get it forward. Swan, Cochin back with the flight. Trying to get past Travis Cloak. Should have known better.
Oh, in the back. Oh, boy. That's one of those that could have gone either way because he dropped the ball as well.
Massive call.
Travis Cloak having a few words to the umpire.
The courage to start from Cochin going back with the flight of the ball was very good though.
It was. See the crowd's into this game.
Knights. So bit by bit. Oh, there's a fumble. Can't blame the son for that one. Vickery, and it's Lynch who sends it forward. Chaplin's got to grab it.
He was on his own, Travis Cloak too. If Quentin Lynch didn't just throw it on the boot, or if Fasolo was able to bring the ball to ground, Travis Cloak was in.
Nicely weighted kick. And he finds Cochin. Quickly to Tuck, who's been a good steadying influence for them today. His ball use hasn't always been fantastic, but he's been in there in the clinches. He's had 8 contested possessions, Shane Tuck. Couple of one-on-ones ahead, bit of a mismatch for height.
Falcon.
Cleaned his own man up too, did Vickery.
Could have marked it.
And it left. Collingwood players, Siegeman running free and kicking to half forward. Dwyer out-pointed this time by Rance. The extra centimetres and strength very handy for Alex Rance.
Last 2 plays for Vickery.
Shocking.
Defenders have saved him. Bad kick by Rance on that occasion.
To O'Brien. Clark's having a good day. O'Brien again. And they wind up through centre half forward. McCaffar. Those Collingwood players, they're just one step ahead then the Pies. Side bottom to shoot for goal.
He's looked dangerous running into the forward 50 a number of times. Steal side bottom, but just I reckon they've had enough opportunities, Collingwood, that they'd really rue when they reflect upon them because they haven't identified the right options when they've gone forward. It's been that last kick going inside 50 that's either been not to the advantage of a teammate or actually to the wrong person, a mismatch like the last one to Sam Dwyer against Alex Rance.
Great to be here at the MCG amongst so many. It just makes every kick so vital. And still side bottom's a good man to have on your side. Collingwood are back in front. That's his second.
He's excellent, Jason, getting in behind the defence. His work rate comes from a wing or the midfield. And he's excellent getting to the fat side of the ground, sneaks in behind the defence. A number of times he's been able to do that today. But that's the kick, that's the important kick. Can't turn it over at centre half forward. McCaffar turns straight away and there's still side bottom. Just floating inside forward 50. And that's the important aspect of it. They needed that finish. Collingwood needed to take the initiative and the assertiveness back in this game.
He's one of the best players on the ground, still side bottom, up to 11 possessions, the most for the Pies. But importantly, he's got a couple of goals next to his name. Trent Cotchin has the most. He's got 16. Dustin Martin and Sean Grigg, 14 apiece.
Hudson, this time with Vickery to counter. It wasn't a great bounce. The umpire passed himself and said that'll do. Swan with McCaffar for support round the corner. Pretty blind, unscientific kick as it turned out under pressure. Pettit feeding Morris. They're hunting him down for solo. Pressure good, Vickery. So it's a slow build-up for the Tigers. Collingwood have got the bases covered. Grimes, though, he can run with some real meaning and try and send it forward via Jackson. The fend-off was okay. Now it gets interesting. Dustin Martin, will he think about it? He just drives it blindly, long, top of the square. Fumble from Penderbury Edwards. Couldn't capitalise.
The last few entries haven't been great. They've missed a lot of targets. Jake King was by himself on that occasion. Just for Martin to pop the ball over the top would have been an easy, uncontested mark to King. Delidio missing Rewalt earlier in the quarter as well. They've had a number of opportunities, the Tigers.
Cochin certainly has had a lot of the footy, but hasn't had things all his own way today. 16 disposals for Trent Cochin.
This is where they're dangerous, Hutto. Forward 50 stoppages at Richmond Football Club. They've scored enormously from these situations in 2013. Possibly the best side in it this year.
Well, Swan, no one on him. Now for Solo, changed his mind midstream. Has to do something with it and has to do it soon. He was unrushed and he's kicked it to Conker.
Pretty good result for Collingwood. They were outnumbered. Fasolo kept the ball alive well. Very elusive, had no one to kick to.
Hudson and Marriage again. They'll just keep going, bashing into each other all day. Tuck. Pettit's had a pretty big role to play as halfback. Hooley didn't like what he saw the first time, so he'll go again and give it plenty into the 50. Will it get the ground? Reed will try and not let it. It does. Cochin, a quick glance. A high kick. Vickery's had a good look at it. Vickery's got it!
How important was Trent Cochin? Sent out for 2-on-1 with Reed coming back onto him. Got the ball to ground, won it. Yeah, it was a high rush kick inside. Inside 50, but
just giving it to Nathan Brown over this one. It's a really good mark to track the footy. That went up a mile.
Yep.
Nathan, not a happy boy there. Ty Vickery has to go back. As we keep saying, these goals just have to be struck. To give Richmond the lead once more. Ty Vickery puts it through. Just on half-time. And just like at quarter time, it looks like the Tigers are going to kick a vital goal.
Yeah, they kicked one, I think, with 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Now there's 5 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. So Nathan Buckley's certainly going to be reviewing what's happening in red time at the end of quarters. But it came about out of nothing. Just a little bit of elusive play from Hurley, who had no one to go to. He just bombs it long, and it's Trent Cochin that keeps it alive. He works his opponent McCaffrey, and then he spoils Reed. And it's not a great kick, but keeps the ball forward, keeps it alive, and gives Vickery a one-out opportunity, and he's good enough to make the most of it.
3 goals, 2 to 1-1 in time on, Jace. So absolutely correct there. Nathan Buckley will be livid.
Oh, it's 3 points the difference. It's to Richmond's advantage unless Swan can hit a target here. And it matters not because it's half-time at the MCG. Brad Johnson and Jason Dunstall, some quick words.
Oh, well, excellent first half. That quarter went so quick. Didn't even look at the clock until you mentioned then, Jace, 5 seconds to go. But as it was in the first quarter, it's about the side that takes the opportunity. Tigers were able to do that late.
A lot more of the football for Richmond. A decent advantage inside 50s to Collingwood. So very even contest. We look forward to the second half.
And we can't wait for half-time. Plenty of analysis coming up. We might hear from the president as well. The margin is 3 at the G.
Can provide some good outside runs. So will both coaches be aggressive? We'll wait and see in this second half.
Travis Cloak, Dane Swan, big day for him in game 200. Jamie Ellett copped a bit of a blow from that man earlier in Morris, but he's okay. He's out there. The crowd waiting anxiously as we get underway in this third quarter. Hudson cleared a bit of a path and then did it himself to Swan. And the first entry is Collingwood's. Fasolo was trying to find it out the back, but Grimes steadfast in his duty.
We heard Nathan Buckley talking about it. They want to win these contests in the air. That's where Richmond's beating them at the moment. And now look at the rebound.
Conker, he had the luxury of tuck up his sleeve and gets it back. So they've advanced through half forward. It's in deep. It's not McGuan's ball. Yeah, it's a Collingwood free.
Yeah, push.
It's almost like that. I want to kick it to Jack Rewald. He puts his arms up again going, is there something wrong with me today?
They've overdone the mantra of sending it around.
And I mean, kicking it long to Shane Edwards as opposed to Jack Rewald on the lead. No disrespect to Shane Edwards, he's been a very good player this year, but I know where I'd rather kick the footy.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Tuvey to Hudson. work ethic to get there.
But, you know, sometimes there is an overcorrection when you're trying to bring something into being, as in sharing the workload up forward. That's 50.
Oh.
There you go. You can hear the umpire say you ran 5 metres over the mark. This will bring Quentin Lynch within range.
Well, you couldn't do it to a worse bloke, could you? From that far out. These little
Not going to take much time. Oh, let's play on.
Well, he's happy just to go back and launch to a genuine one-on-one. How did that happen?
Now, that's disappointing. Now, at some stage, 9 times out of 10, Quentin Lynch is going to kick the ball long and high. Someone's got to drop off their opponent and be the third man up to help Alex Rance out.
All the smalls for Collingwood, though, all led at Quentin Lynch, meaning their direct opponent had to go with them, left the one-on-one behind, which was Cloak v Rance. Cloak too strong.
Well, he's had a couple of nice ones and one wayward shot. And that was somewhere in between, but it's a goal. And Collingwood regain the lead at the MCG.
Well, look, it's terrific play by the other Collingwood forwards to all lead up, but someone has to drop off. There's, gee, he didn't get much time to actually stop his forward momentum and come back. That's a tough 50. But someone had to make the decision as a defender for Richmond and say, you know what, my bloke is not going to be used. Pendlebury was trying to do that, just didn't get back there in time. He's just too big when he holds front position like that, Travis Cloak. He's a monster. There's the bird's eye view. You don't get a better look at it than that.
And the pleasing part about that for Nathan Buckley is all forwards were engaging, so therefore Richmond couldn't affect that contest by dropping someone off.
Thump in the middle of the ground. Marriage brings it to his feet. Cochin has found that Josh Thomas has just been able to restrict Cochin. I know he's had 18 disposals.
Oh, holding the ball.
Gee.
He doesn't mind getting down and dirty, Benny Hudson, does he? He loves it in tight, loves it hard.
Got it moving with Pendlebury. That was a strange old handball, really.
Well, so was the one from Hudson to Pendlebury.
Delidio got himself into the clear with some assistance from Marriage. And now Conker. But just a bit of hesitancy about Richmond at the moment, which we didn't see earlier. Collingwood have got their defenders into good positions right now. Conker, therefore, forced to take it to the boundary, and that's about as good as they can hope for, Richmond.
Yeah, but that's a strange kick. I mean, you've got Shaw and McGuan. Where does McGuan want it? He wants it in the air. He doesn't want it out on the grass in front of him. He nearly gave Shaw a chance to rebound that.
Revolt standing right at the top of your screen, and his haunches there at the top of the 50. Marriage. Side bottom.
You get the sense it was put on Ben Hudson at half-time because his impact early on, he's running a lot better, covering the ground, and his contested work has lifted.
Swan up to 15 disposals for the Pies. Pendlebury with 12. Cochin 18 for the Tigers. 4 minutes into the third. Marriage was concerned about where Hudson was. That's great stuff for the Tigers. Able to get it clear to Lydia, to Martin, and then Cochin, but not quite. And Marriage missed an important one, got a cruel bounce. Swan as they storm forward again. Rance saw the drop of the ball this time early. Well, Chaplin went back and they made a bit of a meal of it. They all fall down. The Tigers. Cloak, fierce tackling, great stuff. The fans getting really involved now for Solo, and they'll be cheering some more as Elliott fires and misses.
Great work by the Pies. They get back quick. The Smalls, they work back hard. Cloak was excellent in here. Creates the contest. Both Tigers go to ground, and then there's trouble.
So the attention and the pressure right back on Richmond at the moment. Newman, the former skipper, drives for McGuan. Towering effort, but no mark. Seedsman, a whiplash there. Rides it out. Ball up.
I think this is terrific for Richmond's development. I mean, they've been wanting to challenge like this, a big day, a big occasion against one of the top sides. They're not playing great football, but they're hanging in. And I think this will be really good for them long term.
Yeah, it's a good call. Just how do they react, though, today? That's the question. Hudson into the pocket, and Rance well played.
It's almost the exact opposite at the two ends. Richmond really not kicking it to Jack Revolt, looking for other options. Collingwood trying to isolate Travis Cloak at every opportunity. And in a low-scoring game, this is the sort of match that one player can influence like a Travis Cloak.
Jackson drops off the back of the pack, but it's Martin that takes the ball. And he just thumps it. He does go for a revolt. He's never in a good position that time. Did well to keep it alive. Morris cops one. And that'll be a Richmond free. And Morris goes straight at Reid.
Not happy.
It's the shortest downfield free you'd ever want to see to Marich across from Revo. And they're content and intent to go wide at the moment. Grimes, sloppy handball again. Knights, he knew he had Cochin in reserve, but again, not great system by the Tigers. Really calling on all the skills of Cochin to try and hit the next target, and it was too much.
That's the handball, 2 handballs in a row that just flat-footed to players that just couldn't run onto it smoothly. It has an effect.
Rick, I should say Hurley was able to get back and at least touch the ball. Rance from the stand start. Out to the wing. This is Knights. Down the line, McGuire, the numbers completely against him.
Good work by Tuvey off the ball on McGuire. Just kept him out of the contest, allowed the uncontested mark from Lynch.
Jordan Russell at centre half back. Taking no chances at the moment, the Pies. Reid. He's got Sidebottom and Brown in short, but McCaffrey's got himself into a dangerous spot on the wing, and they can start to build. Cloak's holding his ground. In fact, Cloak is heading hard into the pocket. The kick comes in high. He's got prime position. Can Rance get over the top? He got help, and he needed it. Chaplin.
Yeah, that's the kick that Travis Cloak wants, the long kick to a one-out contest, but Chaplin good enough to get there and be the third man up.
Margin 4. Collingwood pressing. Marich taking no chances, but slapped it to Pendlebury. And Sidebottom searching. Jordan Russell in the right spot for him. And delivered the pass for Dwyer. Just outside, perhaps. Set it up again for Cloak. He's got there!
Yeah, you can see the difference in attack going forward. They had a 15-metre penalty here, so they'll make sure of it. And isn't Travis Cloak giving Alex Rance a bit? But all Collingwood want to do is get it to Travis Cloak.
No one on the mark. So Travis can enjoy that. Kicked it into the top tier. Collingwood lead by 10.
And back involved, Cloak giving Rance a round of applause.
You know, this to me is a good tactic. As you said, it's not a free-flowing scoring game. So if one player can kick 5 goals, he's the difference between winning and losing. So already Travis Cloak's got 4, because every opportunity Collingwood get, they try to spread their players away from Travis Cloak and then kick it to him 1 out. We saw him kick 5 against Hawthorn last week. The difference was last week, big high-scoring game.
Right.
So a 5-goal haul isn't necessarily the difference. Today it can be.
He's red-hot, Travis Cloak. 4 goals. And so are Collingwood. Richmond, it's over to you. Lynch. Out of the middle. Morris. Cloak again!
Oh, and another lip. He is giving it to Alex Rance.
Yeah, change has to be made. You have to make the change now.
So you'd swap Chaplin over?
You have to do it. You have to do it now. He's on fire. He's got Rance beat. We know that mentally as well. So a change has to, even if it's for 10 minutes, just give someone a different look. It might change Cloak's perspective on his positioning.
Well, in 8 games against Richmond before today, he kicked 11-16. Cloak, so he's been inaccurate, but today he's kicked 5-1, and he's having a little day out. Travis Cloak of the G.
Gee, they're getting vocal. He is in the face of Alex Rance. Some of the Richmond defenders trying to get in the middle of it all, trying to protect their teammate in Rance, but Cloak is indomitable at the moment. He is just having a massive influence on the contest. Had the hands on it. Shane Edwards couldn't find the target with the handball, but look at the attack. And Alex Rance just can't get high enough to spoil. He's too big for him, Travis Cloak, as he's too big for most defenders in the competition when he's in this sort of form.
They've done it, Jono.
Well, the move had to be made. As I said, it's just a different look now for Cloak. Look, it's a big job that Chaplin going on to someone who's absolutely on fire.
Yeah, that's not easy.
It's not easy to do, but the support needs to come from Rance now, and you see Delidio's gone back as a spare man in defence.
So Tigers on the back foot, but they're going to get an opportunity here. So that's a good reaction from Damien Hardwick. So he says, Brett Delidio, you go back and just calm things down. You know, slot in where you need to.
There's a spare back for Collingwood, and they can't get near it, the Tigers. Nathan Brown to Pendlebury. Listen to that crowd.
But the other thing that happens, Hutto, and we're seeing it now, the confidence in Collingwood to play on straight away. They want to keep the momentum going. There was a bit of a wrestle on behind play between Tuvey and Jake King. Done by the Collingwood.
Swan, Reid. It's all go for the Pies. Russell. Tuvey, look at that confidence just surging through the Collingwood veins. Not quite that time. Comes hard again, Blair. Had it stripped. Great effort, Newman. Cochin. It's the Richmond leaders that need to do that. They need to lead. But Sinclair, Seedsman, the young Pies starting to work the angles. Again, he doesn't go for Cloak. The change-up was good for Clark.
Cloak one out. Cloak one out.
He's there, and the Richmond players haven't really protected him yet. Chaplin at all. He goes to Lynch instead.
I'm amazed he didn't lead Travis Cloak. He had a bit of space there. Lynch might try and bomb one here.
Substitution's been made. Brandon Ellis into the game. Shane Tuck out.
Look at that.
Quentin Lynch gives it plenty, but not enough in the end. Travis Cloak pushed out of the road. And the Richmond defence hold it up for the moment.
Right, the Pies have gone up the gear. The Tigers need to respond. The crowd's into it. The Collingwood faithful, they're roaring. Gee, the blood rule here.
An interesting decision, Kingy, to take Tuck off for Ellis.
Well, it's the right time, in my opinion. 12 minutes into the third quarter, you're 16 points down, you need some run, you need a spark. Give Brandon Ellis a chance to come on and impact. Daisy Thomas is the one we're all waiting for, but maybe Richmond just got the jump a couple of minutes in advance.
Well, that Revolt with a bit of claret coming out of the back of his head is the blood rule.
They probably just don't need to, Collingwood, at the moment, Kingy, do they? They're doing well enough as it is, so even though Nathan was planning to be aggressive, he'd be pretty happy with the blokes out there.
Well, this allows him to hang on to Dale Thomas a bit longer.
Margin 16. Pendlebury runs into a dangerous spot, but it's Harry O'Brien. He can't shake Rance completely. McCaffer, Cloak, can be hard for him to mark this one. He doesn't need to. Side bottom will do it. Side bottom will do it. They got all the answers, the Pies, at the moment at the MCG. They have shut the Tiger fans up.
Well, this is the test we've been waiting for Richmond to face. And now it's what sort of response can they manage? How do they stop a run on against a quality side like Collingwood? And they're not doing anything fancy, Collingwood. They're just working hard. They're just relentless in pushing the ball forward, creating opportunities, and now they're starting to capitalise. That's the third goal for Steele Sidebottom. We know how good he is around goal. You've got Travis Cloak in good form. What they need to do is arrest control of the football in the middle of the ground, the Tigers. That's where they've lost it, in the midfield.
It comes down to contested possession. It's 9-17 in Collingwood's favour at the moment. They're dominating possession 26-45. So they're winning the hard ball, which then is creating some good, strong inside 50s for them.
4 goals, 1-0 in this third quarter. Conker.
That's an option where you're better off picking up the ball, get possession, and then try and feed it off to a teammate and just kick it off the deck.
Clark. Oh, they are just so full of confidence. Tuvey to centre half forward. Richmond needs someone to make a bit of a statement here. Grimes couldn't do it. They've been able to shuffle it around successfully enough. Ellis trying to pick up the tempo of the game. Did it well enough, but they're going backwards here, Richmond.
Great pressure.
Grimes for Newman. Glides through. Now Cochin needs to hang on here.
He turns, McQuan's by himself.
Crowd told him to do it. He was, unfortunately, in haste. It's on the full.
You can take your time. You take your mark, you can, but you've got to get back off the mark first, assess the situation before you slow it down.
One thing you don't do, John, is turn your back on the play.
There's that kicking efficiency, 71-61. There's that Vickering turns around smartly. But McCaffer for Clark. Grigg not close enough. Couldn't have an impact. Brown. Listen to those Collingwood fans. Wouldn't it be great to be running across half forward like this? Surging forward with the fans behind you. Big long kick, Elliott. Lynch. They'll tear the joint down. He's missed it.
All he had to do was kick it off the ground. He actually picked it up and missed the footy. He'd done a Percy Jones.
And here's a good look at it.
He's still on it.
He had an airy.
Get up. Straight back to him now.
Made the slot down here, Hutto. Daisy Thomas is about to come into the game.
Blair, Cloak, no free kick. Delidio, shrug of the shoulders. They are calling on all their reserves, everything they've got Richmond at the moment, because they are being overwhelmed by Collingwood. Reed, they're circling again, the Pies. Lynch is deep, Cloak's in the pocket. Shaw with a bit of a run up, tried to spear it to Cloak and got him. And he can kick him from here.
He'll have a dig at this, and he should play on now while the man's down, because he's got under 50 if he wants.
Well, Chris Knights has tried to come through to create the spoil, and he's
Chaplin.
Chaplin.
Well, that's the last thing they need. He's about the only other bloke, unless all of a sudden Luke McGuan has to go back. He's taken out a teammate.
It was Knights that...
Can he take him to the side, just over 5 minutes?
Well, it's just the forearms caught him across the jaw. He landed awesomely.
Very lucky with his knee and ankle as well.
So Travis Cloak already with 5 goals won this afternoon.
15 seconds.
So he's on the clock. Time to settle everything down and then just spray it. So the margin's 23 at the moment, and they've just got to try and hold.
Exactly right. It has to stay around 23 points. If anything, they can pitch maybe one late like they've been able to do in the first and second quarters. But at the moment, Collingwood's timing forward half, they just have that much ball forward of centre.
It's just a domination at the moment.
Oh, look at that.
A thumping kick from Cloak to the square. And well done, Ricky Pettard, taking absolutely no chances.
Chase, I love these games because I think you find out more about your team in these sorts of games and the easy wins and the coasting victories. I think when you're 4 goals down, really struggling to find a way out of your back 50, do the leaders stand up? Is it a Rewald who stands up? They just need someone here.
And all of a sudden they're giving away free kicks. They just can't. Oh, you wouldn't want to argue too much. No, Rich.
Goes to Cloak again.
What we haven't seen today, and I don't know if it's because of the cooler conditions or the swirly wind, but Quentin Lynch has tried a couple of times, Cloak's tried a couple of times. They haven't bombed these goals from outside. They haven't been able to kick that 60-metre drop punt as comfortably today as we've seen on other occasions. You'll have another go here, Travis Cloak.
5-1 and an out on the full. This as tough as any he's faced so far. It's coming. What a shape, what a kick. What a start, Travis Cloak. 6 goals on the big stage of the MCG. Oh, it's red.
Well, 4 goals in this third term for Travis Cloak as he comes off to have a spell. And that would be the greatest sight from a Richmond perspective. Get the man on the bench, for goodness sakes. He's taken 3 marks in this particular area in about the last 3 minutes. And that's the first one that he really got perfectly off the boot. And he's just bombed it in. You look at 60 possessions to 37 in the third term in favour of Collingwood. And players that just haven't been able to get their hands on the footy at all for the Tigers. Sean Grigg, Daniel Jackson, a couple of midfielders, Pettard, McGuan, Chaplin, King. They haven't touched the footy.
That's it, and they've got 5 players as well who only touched the ball once in this quarter. Just not enough from the Tigers.
Equal career best, 6 goals from Travis Cloak. He has been a powerful, powerful force for the Pies this afternoon at the G.
Look at the numbers they're running in now, the Pies.
Dale Thomas on for Josh. And off and running and getting it in there again. No Cloak this time. And thank goodness for that, say the Richmond defence. But there's other worries. Hooley or Morris a fumble. He knew it. Behind the backstop. Swan. O'Brien. Everybody getting in on the act. Harry O'Brien puts it through. And the Collingwood fans are beside themselves. They lead by 6 goals in the third quarter, and it has been a belting in this term.
Well, it's a 6-0 third term in favour of Collingwood. And implied pressure, actual pressure, it's all gone up. Collingwood's confidence has gone up. They're running in numbers, they're creating turnovers, and when they start finishing, momentum is a really hard thing to stop once it gets flowing, Jono.
Especially Richmond playing in front of a big crowd today. Eddie McGuire is pumped in the box. Tony Shaw is up and about as well. But even when that roar comes across, when you're on the receiving end of what's happening, it's hard. It's hard to even get voice around your teammates, even to try and lift them in these situations.
Dane Swan got the goal assist, and he's hungry for more. He got cleaned up, knocked downfield. It could have been, it won't matter. They got another one. Oh, Sidebottom's also getting in with 4 goals. It's an avalanche at the MCG, and they're going to start a fight, Richmond. They're going to start a fight in the middle. That's all they can do at the moment.
Well, that was over the late contact on Dane Swan. And all they wanted, a couple of good jumper punches here from Tyler Vickery. Look, Collingwood will get in there, they'll protect their players, but they don't want to get involved in anything silly because they've got everything. You can just see Scotty Pendlebury saying, stop all that. We've got everything on our terms at the moment. No need for us to get involved.
Well, he's been good at throwing the jumper punch the last couple of weeks, Vickery. But they need to do more than that. Yeah, the hit was late. And Thomas comes in to support Dane Swan, which he needs to do.
He's had a massive third term, Dane Swan. He's had 8 possessions, 3 inside 50s, half of them contested possessions and a couple of clearances in this quarter alone.
What a football lesson in this third quarter. We've seen that a bit of late. Third quarters have been so pivotal. It was again last night, and it is here today as it was last weekend on several occasions. And it's not finished yet as far as Collingwood are concerned. Seedsman emboldened by the situation. Handball to himself. They'll take the advantage. Maybe it's Pendlebury's turn. No, he sets it up. He wants Swan to take a mark. And he would have been happy to do so, but couldn't. Jackson, that's a get me out of there kick.
It's a foot race.
King leading the way. Russell trying to close the gap. Good chase. King. Vickery worked his way there, but couldn't take it. Now it's Shaw. And out for O'Brien. Every kick and handball being met with great adulation from the Collingwood fans.
Well, look, we saw Damien Hardwick try to do something quite some time ago when he threw Brett Delidio down behind the ball. That didn't work. They haven't been able to get enough possession. They haven't got their midfielders to just hold the ball up, chip it around, because every time they do get their hands on it, they're under such pressure. All they do is they toss it on the boot, and it's getting turned over immediately.
They've been too tough, Chase. Collingwood have been too tough in this terms. Plus 13 contested possessions in the third term alone. They've won it, they've kept it, they've got great targets. This is a domination.
Sidebottom was given a lot of latitude by the umpire. Dale Thomas. Oh, and he's found Elliott. They are completely rattled, Richmond, at the moment.
I'll tell you what, in the third quarter alone, 30 to 16 the contested possessions in favour of Collingwood, and 10 to 2 the tackles, and that's when they've had nearly double the possessions in this third term. So David King's right. They're getting smashed because they're too good, Collingwood. This is the sort of test we've needed to see Richmond face, and they need to face it on a regular basis, because today they haven't answered it thus far.
2 tackles in 23.5 minutes from Richmond. You're not going to stop much there, and they just can't stop the Pies. 7 goals, 4 for the quarter. Elliott, a blemish.
They haven't scored at all. Not just a goal, they haven't scored a point in this turn, Richmond. They've been barely able to get the ball past halfway.
Newman. That's not really to the advantage of Marriage, who did well to fight on from behind. Delidio, Jackson tried to come into a better place. In the end, just had to jam it on the boot. Did the best he could. Dwyer, Pendlebury, aggressive handball into the space to see what else might happen. Sinclair popped up. Elliott comes hard at the ball.
Gee, that's a good vertical leap. He might be only diminutive in stature, but that is a spring-heeled leap at pace. That's a terrific mark.
175 centimetres, Jace. Only 79 kilos. That's a big leap.
Look at the spring and hang. 17 to 4, the inside 50s in favour of Collingwood in the third term.
So Elliott, what a forward he's become. He's been a little inaccurate today with 2 behinds. But from plumb in front, he'll go back and kick their 8th goal of the quarter. A domination at the MCG. Richmond have been put in their place by Collingwood. It's a big gap.
And this, unfortunately, from a Richmond perspective, is where all those doubts start to flood back in. We think we're on the improve, but we haven't faced the real top teams yet. When we get a crack at them, we're dying for a crack. But, gee, if you fail this dismally, Jono, does that put you back in your spot very, very quickly and just show them how much work they still have to do?
Well, that's it. And look, in the middle of the ground, they were having a chat. They had Martin in there. Rewalt's actually placed himself into this stoppage. Cochin was trying to get some things going. At least they're still talking. They're still trying to work things out there, the Tigers, which which is still an important part of their learning.
Revolt into the middle. They are trying things. Up to centre half forward. Jake King, he's hatched it.
He's over it.
He's gone. They can do nothing right at the moment.
No, I think Damien Hardwick's put Jack Real in this. Okay, you want to lead this club, go in there and arrest the slide. We've seen Jonathan Brown do it, Wayne Carey do it over the past 15 years or so. Just see how you go in there, Jack. See if you can arrest the slide, because Cochin, as good as he's trying, can't do it alone.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't a bad start getting a clearance, but it's hard to arrest the slide when you're 49 points down. That's a big ask for anyone.
But I wouldn't put him in there and just let him run around and follow a player. Put him in there to then float back and become that spare where he can intercept marks rather than chasing around for solo, which he's doing at the moment.
Seedsman, Richmond might be able to cut this off, and they can. Could have kept going there, Hooley. He had a little bit of support.
He's got McGuan in space. Just got to move the ball quicker.
McGuan, the sun's still a factor. Tries to lean back, bring it down to teammates. Vickery, they need to score in the quarter. They won't hear a capper for solo. He could press pause, but no, he spots Lynch. And through the corridor they can go. Tuvey, out wide for O'Brien instead.
They're just working hard at Collingwood. The amount of run coming from behind the football, the options they're creating. But they're also working incredibly hard when they haven't got the footy, the pressure that they're putting on Richmond.
Dale Thomas misses the mark. Alex Rance takes it into the middle.
Good option.
King did create a number of options for them. That's a wobbly old pass at best from Ellis. Hacked forward by Grigg to a one-on-one, and it hits the carpet. McGuan shut down straight away by Shaw. Revolt, surely this time. Hooley, yes! Saw off Sinclair, puts it through. The margin is 43. And they will want to work hard at reducing that before the end of the game.
Well, that man there, Jack Revolt, was involved again. He got the hand pass out. He's certainly doing his best. He worked hard. You could see Nathan Brown pushed him under the footy, but he just turned around and he went back harder than his opponent, and he gets there first. That's terrific work from Jack Revolt. He's doing his best. He's not getting any decent service, but he's trying to do something to get the team going.
So 13-12-90 to 7-5-47. Took 28 minutes for a Richmond goal in this third term. Pendlebury, can they snatch another one late here? Clark intervenes to Swan. Lynch. Pendlebury kept on coming for solo. Again Pendlebury, his third involvement. Cloak's waiting for a deep. Rance is back on Cloak. 6 goals, 1 for Travis Cloak. Quinton Lynch, he had a big day. 16 disposals.
Oh, it's a shank.
And just doesn't quite... Well, now it does fall Richmond's way. Revolt's got the skates on, heading back to goal. He tells King to keep going until the moment was right, and it bounced beautifully for it. He needed the bounce, and they needed the goal. And there's 2 in a row, and maybe there's hope for Richmond. It's back to 37, Jono. They could get another one, and they'd be back in the game.
They've been excellent in red time the whole
Haven't
game.
they?
In the first quarter, they kicked one with 7 seconds to go. Second quarter, 5 seconds. They've got 2, but it's Rewald. He went into the middle. He's had a centre clearance. He got the handball over to Hooley. Now he gets this one from Jake King, who released it just at the right time.
He deserved the good bounce, Jack Revolt, because he's worked hard. What was disappointing for Collingwood? Pendlebury got the ball and he kicked it backwards to Lynch, and he was saying, calm it down, let's just close it out. And then Lynch has just shanked a kick that needed to be a 60-metre square up to hit its target. He just needed to be a little bit more circumspect, Quentin Lynch.
58 seconds. Marriage had it. Cochin helped. Maybe they believe they can still cause some damage. Ellis, oh, it fell for Revolt again. It'll move, he was spun everywhere. Did he have the footy? Richmond fans pleading for a free kick. They don't get it. Dwyer.
Well, they're not happy at the punt road end.
That would have made it interesting. They kicked 3 late goals to take a little bit of momentum in at 3/4 time.
Well, they've been tested here.
Still got time.
Can they get it into a dangerous spot? Alice hits the target at 18 seconds. Wow, and Knights is a big kick.
And look at Nathan Buckley. He must be thinking, what on earth have I done to cop this in red time? They copped it 7 seconds to go in the first quarter, 5 seconds to go in the second quarter, and they've conceded a couple of goals in the last minute and a half here, and this could be 3. Massive kick.
Massive.
That's your one. Mark's here.
Well, he's experienced big crowds and big moments in Adelaide, but this is a whole different story. The MCG, 80,000 people watching as he comes in Knights. He's given it a bit. It's got to work back, and it doesn't.
That's a really bad miss.
That's a bitter taste for Richmond fans at three-quarter time. Could have got them back within 5 goals. But let's just applaud the efforts of this Collingwood team, led by that man, Nathan Buckley. 8 goals, 4 for the term, to 2 goals, 1, Jono.
Excellent. They dominated the whole quarter. Contested possession, amount of disposal, tackles, the whole lot. Hutto was excellent by Collingwood.
Cloak kick 4, side bottom kick 2, and the Pies.
There's a slight concussion there. He's been ruled out of any further action for the day. He spent the last 10 minutes on the bench. I don't think we'll see him again. So it's a big loss for the Richmond Football Club and their defence. I am surprised that he didn't start on Travis Cloak, but that'll be a discussion for during the week.
Yeah, what it does mean is Rance goes back to Cloak now for the last quarter.
Marriage to Cochin, a little bit of hanging on at Cochin.
Oh, that would have been a nice advantage.
Thought he'd stolen the march there, didn't he?
Must get the first goal. They had momentum the last couple of minutes. It's a shame Chris Knights couldn't convert just before the siren. If they can get something going early, you never know.
Van Marriage, so it's bit by bit for the Tigers. Conker wanted to move it quickly. Vickery makes his lead. Goes searching for McGuan.
Super kick. Super kick.
Had a few obstacles to get over, didn't he?
Now need another good kick here from Luke McGuan. This is the key to, and we've seen teams go off in one quarter of football already this year. We saw Sydney kick 11 last week. We saw
West
Collingwood go berserk here.
West Coast here last week.
I mean, you can have massive quarters if you get on a roll. That's exactly what Collingwood did to Richmond last quarter. They've got to turn the tables now. It comes down to conversion. Got to use the ball well.
He's got 1 goal under his belt today. It's a tough kick. And one they just have to make. It's coming. Oh. Just started a bit too far out.
Would have been nice, Chris Knights on the three-quarter time siren, and then that one there just comes back to conversion and the opportunities. They need to nail them because Collingwood would have been so dominant.
I don't want to beat Noel Drums on it, but Chris Knights ran to the left and he missed it left, and McGuan ran to the right and he missed it right. Oh, so that might be 50 for a high shot.
And Jordan Russell is not in good shape. Trent Cochin is a very fair player.
No, he's trying to spoil the footy. That's all he was doing. He's had a slap at the football with an open hand.
If anything, it could have got him in the eye as well. That just the open finger, open hand, the finger in the eye.
Well, he's not going to take the kick. I think he's going to come from the field. Yeah.
You'd hate to see that cost him a Brownlow.
He's copped one right in the eye.
Yep.
That won't cost him the Brownlow King. Nothing in there.
Shorter half forward.
Oh, they're on here. They've missed Jack Revolt again, all on his own.
He was screaming for it. Edwards still screaming for it in the middle. They'll get there eventually. They were flat-footed by then. Alice bubbling away. Shaped the kick for Jake King. It was good play.
They just need someone to go back and kick a goal, Richmond, because they've actually got control of the game.
How they wish they didn't bleed so many goals, though, in that third quarter.
You know, they've missed their last 2 set shots that were very kickable goals. That was after a couple on the trot. They now get another opportunity. She's got to calm himself here, Jake King.
Kicked the goal in the first quarter. So King for the Tigers. Reasonably close to the man on the mark. The goal umpire was moving early away to his right. So they've left 3 out there now, the Tigers, from set shots.
They've kicked 8 goals today, Richmond, and 5 of those have been in time on. It's a strange stat. You wonder what they've been doing the first 10 minutes of the quarter, because they've looked pretty complete.
Reid to Swan, he knew that he just had to clear the defensive area. Good spoil back in. came from Grimes and sets up Cochin. Squeezed in was Grigg. And that squeezing made a difference.
You just can't keep missing gilt-edged opportunities to kick goals. Collingwood had a massive third quarter. They kicked 8 goals, 4. You can't start off butchering regulation opportunities like we've seen from McGuan, from King, and then on that occasion, Grigg.
The last 5 minutes, though, it's 2 goals, 4 to Richmond to nothing. So that's where they've had their opportunity just to get back into this game and bridge that margin back to 20 points.
But it should be 4 goals too at the very worst, and then all of a sudden you are in the contest on the scoreboard.
Reflected by the time in forward half. Quite domination. From behind Marriage again. Cochin looking for a free. And the umpire not buying. He's trying again. Clark or Jackson. Oh, lucky just got boot to ball. Well done to get boot to ball. Thomas for Swan, just trying to find it, couldn't. Tigers came hard the other way. Grimes made Morris and Elliott crucial. They both overrun it. Cloak the next off the line. Swan, lunging tackle, had to be holding the ball, surely. Not paid. Pettard angling the kick for Big Marriage. Some tired boys out there already. Delidio, and it's a baller. He was a big non-call on Dane Swan, wasn't it?
Sure was. Here it is here.
Incorrect disposal. He stops as though he's got pinned.
One thing's for sure.
Laughing. Sorry, King.
One thing's for sure today, Anthony. When they've made a mistake, the umpires, there's been plenty of feedback given from both sides.
Marriage knew he had to dispose of it quickly. Delidio probably had more time than that. Blair now, he's gone. Head down, there was no low contact on the opponent, so it's okay. 33 points. 5 men in the forward line, all one-on-one for Richmond, so they're every chance if they get it in there. O'Brien making sure that didn't happen. Swan. What a wonderful 200-game career it's been from Dane Swan. Hard mark for Sinclair. Elliott buzzing round on the 50, screaming for it. That's where the kick goes. He can mark. He can mark so well for a small man.
Do you know what he did there? He moved around. That was about a 40-metre lead laterally from one flank to the other. And that's what caught Sinclair's attention. He just comes streaking across the screen from one side to the other. And Stephen Morris loses contact with him.
You're right, the movement attracts the kicker's attention, and then you follow the movement. And you, as the kicker, you just wait for it to unfold, hit the space. He did it well then.
So Jamie Elliott, well, he too follows the path of others and misses. And Nathan Buckley certainly not content by any means. Just when he thought the day was in cruise control, Richmond came hard late in the quarter. And they haven't been able to put them away just yet, but the lead is 34. And it's going to take a Herculean effort from Richmond.
Oh, a dangerous kick.
Was there a shove in there? No, there wasn't. Tuvey and Grigg had a quick look up the ground. O'Brien surging, takes the mark. Back in for Shaw. Behind the wing, presses go. For Cloak. Rance. Breaks even there, looking for the boundary line. Maybe looking a bit hard, but he got there.
Dustin Martin's really gone out of the game after half-time. Sean Grigg has really struggled to get possessions today, particularly in the second half. A lot of their midfielders, just the ones the level below Cochin and Delidio, haven't been able to get their hands on the footy.
Jackson versus Pendlebury. Just a fraction high. That's all it takes. He's moving again, Cloak. Delidio changed his mind. Kicked it to the square. Thomas and Grimes. And Grimes was able to dig very deep there and get it over the line. Valuable time being wasted here by Collingwood. They've got it in their forward 50. Delidio watching Pendlebury, but it's Newman that takes it away. Knights. Quick turn onto the left from Hurley. Decide to stretch a handball instead. And that was not a great moment for... Oh, and he's Conker put the boot out. No, he's paid.
Yeah, 50 against O'Brien for handballing after the whistle had gone.
I thought it was going to be his free for the boot.
He had every right, Harry O. Probably assume the fact that it may have been kicking in danger his way.
So Conker, he's got Vickery and Revolt deep in genuine one-on-ones. Now he's allowed Lynch to get back, so he takes a shorter path. Marriage wanted to lay it off. He passes for Revolt, and he'll get it.
Well, it's pretty simple. He's led all day and he's presented, but not enough of his teammates have looked for him, Jack Revolt.
They did well, Richmond, because Quinton Lynch had pushed back to then lower the eyes to Marriage and then get Quinton Lynch out of the equation. Went over the top of him after that to the strong Revolt lead.
He just has to go back methodically and try and put this through. For his third of the afternoon, Jack Revolt. It's all there ahead of him. Not a 100% kick, but it gets a 100% result. And maybe there's some hope for the Tigers. 28 points the difference with 13 and a half to go.
You can just see the arm from side bottom that was around Conker. Jack Revolt's been far from the Tigers' worst play day. He's kicked 3 goals now. He's presented, he's worked hard, he's continually moved around. And it was continual movement that got him the space there on that occasion.
Is there genuine belief here for the Tigers? Do they really think that they can come hard at Collingwood in the last quarter? We will find out very shortly. Martin completely gone out of the game. 17 disposals.
He needs a big 10 minutes, Martin.
Delidio to half forward Seedsman. Greg did enough. And they're in again. Revolt outnumbered. It goes further. Marriage.
Holding.
He's paid the free to Marriage.
And 50.
And 50.
Well.
Here we go.
Maybe now they'll believe. Maybe now, Jono.
Well,
this will cut at the 22.
That's right, Hutto. 22 points and 4 goals in today's game. It's very easy to score quickly, and it's not a safe margin anymore. Their last 10 minutes of play, the Tigers, they've been dominant with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter and the first part of the last quarter. And there's the free kick there to Marriage, and the 50 metres was because Shaw ran away with it, kicked it away.
You can see the arm around the neck.
And have a listen to the Tiger fans as Nathan Buckley goes through the pain of another Richmond goal.
The one asset they have got, Hutto, is their ability to score quickly from centre bounces. They're the best in the competition this season at plus 10 goals. They can pile on the pressure here.
Well, they've had the advantage there by 6 through the afternoon. 22 points the difference now. Back in the middle with Vickery and Lynch. Cochin and Conker. It goes Collingwood's way. Swan heaves the kick into the 50, and Cloak tried to bank it, couldn't. Dwyer scouting the pack well, hoped to find Pendlebury. He couldn't. Pettard, it's not the time to fumble. Pendlebury, Sinclair, high ball again. Cloak will come over the top. What a force he is, Travis. Does it on the ground. Back to O'Brien. Can he find the space? He can't. Sinclair, have to be careful not to give away a free. Vickery, delicate handball to Alice. Conker, what a smother from Dale Thomas. And the ball over the line and out of bounds.
Oh, that was a big handball by Vickery. Got to clear. Thomas, excellent with the smother.
81,000 fans at the MCG. Jackson took on a heavy load. The heavy lifting good. Hurley, they're moving it again. Knights quickly shut down side bottom. Richmond couldn't hem him in. High kick Tuvey. They'll come again. Swan in 200. And that's just one of the great abilities that Dane Swan of many has got, to get forward, to find the right place, to take a mark. And he's a very reliable kick at goal. And despite the distractions, Swan puts it through and delivers a telling blow. 28.
He's been an excellent player for so long. Dane Swan, 200 games today. His last 99 games, Jace, has averaged 32 disposals, 12 contested balls, 6 clearances, 5 inside 50s and a goal. This man is an absolute freak. The way he goes about his footy, just an excellent player.
just has that ability to get it consistently. He'll match that 32 again today. He's up to 26. He's now kicked the goal. He's had 15 contested possessions, 5 clearances. Another fantastic day's work from Dane Swan.
So it's 28 between Richmond and Collingwood. Vickery tapped it, but Dane Swan goes marching on for Solo versus Pettard. And Pettard did well. And a couple of little mini battles there. Ellis to Delidio. Tried to step Blair. Couldn't, but he did keep it in Richmond hands.
Oh, what was that?
Edwards had a misfire. His second effort was better. Conker there streaming forward. Big Marich is the target. This time Brown went hard at the footy. An awkward kick, but it might be absolutely perfect.
Hasn't kicked the ball well today, Reece Conkery. He's had a couple of nice kicks, but on too many occasions, he's either chosen the wrong option or tried to force something. He had some loose players short, just didn't see them.
Everyone having a crack in the ruck. Sinclair. Under some pressure, Grimes. Conker. Good work from Morris. Straight ahead stuff. Big wrestle with Russell and King. Been a good battle between those two. O'Brien. And Collingwood will be happy with this.
The one thing we do learn about Richmond today is that they need to bring Nick Vlastuin in, pick 9 from last year's draft. Played half-back flank early in the pre-season period. I think it's time to rush him back in because their ball use out of the back half's been poor today.
Good call, Kingy. Grimes was waiting till he could get his man Hooley in it, but he just sold him on the wrong side, so he just couldn't do anything with it. And that was unfortunate for Richmond, but terrific for Collingwood. Lynch takes the name.
You go long down the line to Cloak.
And he'll mark it because he's Travis Cloak.
Russell one out long.
And Jordan Russell, adventurous stuff in the forward line. Clark for Heath Shaw, just left the door open for Martin. He's gone to ground. Dwyer can use Shaw and stroll into goal. But he misses.
Some concern for Collingwood down here on the bench. It looks like Nathan Brown's just getting some work done. That left adductor, that
pulled up sore after that wonky kick before, Kingy. That one.
Yeah, it doesn't pay to kick it wonky, Anthony. Looks like he's hurt that high adductor.
There's the technical term for it. Hooley, big kick. Well done from King. He was able to ride it out.
Oh, he didn't look. He had a hand pass off to him. He might have hurt himself, King. He might have done something as well.
Vickery, they're gaining ground here. Reid saw Revolt coming, and he's an interesting handball from Reid. So there's a few very sore boys out there.
He's in trouble, Jake King. I don't know if it's back related or what it is, but that's why he just threw it on the boot.
He cops a knee in the back there.
Free to Delidio.
Got to make something happen quickly.
There is still time for Richmond.
Maybe even a big
They can kick this.
What a talent.
Oh.
What a talent he is. He's just missed on the kick, but gee, he just eased that kick goal from that far out.
Oh, he's in trouble. That looks like the back, doesn't it?
It is, there you go, reaching.
Top of the hip, backbone.
Oh, another kick that had an element of danger about it, but Collingwood storm away. Pendlebury using Dwyer on the way out. Back to Dwyer again, and then Dane Swan. They're flying through the middle of the pies now. It's a road to home. Dane Swan, high for Cloak. He could still take it, but it's offline. Through for a behind.
I'm not going to go with the technical term for what Jake King's done down here. But it does look like the gluteus maximus.
Cooley, a high ball this time. Pendlebury spotted side bottom. Tuvey came charging. And they're down to 8.5 minutes. From here, Richmond need to do absolutely everything right. They've got to sow a seed of doubt in Collingwood's mind by kicking a couple of quick goals.
By the last 8 minutes, Hutto, looks like they're only going to have one rotation, and that's Edwards is the only fit man on the bench at the moment for the Tigers.
And that is the problem with going with your sub early, isn't it? Because when it doesn't come off.
Well, Tuck was subbed out early. Chaplin's got a mild concussion, and now King's gone off very properly.
Cloak was always going to mark it. and had his name firmly all over this there and then, Travis Cloke. And he's going back for a career best 7.
When he gets front position, it is incredibly tough to stop him. He's big, he's strong, he attacks the ball well, he marks it at the highest point, he's got a good leap on him, he's got a beautiful pair of hands.
4 goals in the third quarter has made all the difference in this game. Travis Cloke for his best ever.
Good miles, Hutto.
He'd know that too, I reckon.
I think that's the beauty, Hutto, of bringing links to the club. He's taken 6 marks inside 50 today, Travis Cloke. He hasn't had to work to the wings, which you spoke about earlier in the game.
That's a good call. Kingy Hooley pumps this one to the middle of the ground. Tigers are streaming forward, trying to get something going.
The trouble is when they kick the ball forward, they're just throwing it on the boot without looking. Can't afford to do that.
O'Brien.
Not bad from Travis Cloke either, considering dislocated the finger at training yesterday and has marked the ball so well today.
He's so resilient, Travis Cloke. He'll get hurt and injured every week to some degree, but he just comes out the next week and just gives it everything. Dwyer. Clark, they're playing keepings off at the moment here, Collingwood, because they can. They lead by 30. Tuvey from Marty Clark.
Well, you don't always get to run the clock down for the last minute and a half or 2 minutes of the game. So there's no problem with just shaving a minute or 2 off the clock here. If Richmond are going to sit off and allow you to chip the ball around, why not? Because, let's face it, the clock is the enemy as far as Richmond's concerned.
Frustration for Richmond fans too, as they are practicing what they practice here, the Pies. High ball from Reed. Hudson, Swan. Oh, the umpire didn't see it. Oh, the other one did.
The other one did, yeah.
And right in front of the Richmond fans down there. Poor old Alex Rance. He has had a tough old afternoon.
Richmond supporters just letting the umpire know it was a good decision.
Letting Travis know.
Having a word.
Not beyond him, this.
Oh, look at that.
Not beyond him. Travis Cloke.
Turn around.
A magnificent 7 from Travis Cloke.
Oh, those Richmond supporters, there they are, put straight back in their seat. That's a great goal.
I think a couple of them are smiling.
Yeah.
They gave their best legs and they had it thrown back in their face by a magnificent kick from Travis Cloke. And they said, yep, too good, we need to go.
Yeah, that's right.
And I reckon they've got a few mates that are leaving now, the Richmond fans.
Well, they actually got a fist on the ball, but he half clipped Travis Cloke in the head by getting around him.
There it is, 20 disposals, 14 marks. Excellent effort, 7 goals, 2 today.
$36 points the difference. Edwards.
36 points is the difference, Anthony. And it was 6 goals in 12 minutes in that third quarter that blew the game. And that's been Richmond's problem in the last 18 months, is a bad patch of 10 to 12 minutes. And again, that's the case in a big game.
Joffa Shaw there enjoying himself as the Tigers try and get another one. Oh, boy. That wasn't pretty. Jackson handballing the score.
He was trying to get the quick hand pass on because they had numbers running into goal. In his haste, he's just launched it over top of everybody. Well, there's no doubt that the Tigers will be dissected within an inch of their lives after this game. It's been a big test for them. But at least they showed some fight after getting hammered in that third term. The last couple of minutes of the third term and then the beginning of the fourth term, they didn't lay down without a fight.
Grigg needs everything to go right on that kick, and it did.
Who gets the goal? Who gets the goal?
There's the ball over the line before Harry.
I believe it's touched. I'll just have to check.
Okay.
Oh, I believe it's touched.
Score review. We believe it's a touch. You just make sure. Thank you.
touched Brandon Ellis? Was it Ellis?
Ellis was in front.
He should have either kicked it or shepherded it. So if Harry O'Brien's got to it, it's a pretty poor effort. Oh, that leg looks over the line, doesn't it?
Bounce.
That's a goal.
Oh, yeah. The whole ball was over the line or past the post.
Here's a good
It has to be.
Yeah, this will be a great view. This one, that's right on the goal line. The third eye.
Third eye, that's it.
That's got to be as definitive as we've got as saying that's a goal, surely.
I'm not sure that they'll call it.
They have to call it, haven't they?
You'd like to think that's good enough. I don't know why we bother having reviews. I really don't. They're a waste of time. If we can't say that's a goal, they're a waste of time.
Great view from the third eye.
I don't know what we need. Makes no difference to the match, but that's I would call that a goal all day, every day.
Tuvey to half back.
And I know the whole ball has to be over the line, but that's good enough for me.
15-16, 106 to 10-12, 72 with 4 minutes to go.
A long time since we've seen Dustin Martin with the footy, Jono.
It's been a while. His first halves have been excellent. He's rectified that the last couple of weeks, but today, once
really
again,
drifted out of it, hasn't he?
Dale Thomas, Blair, and he's placed it for a very dangerous forward. Elliott takes the mark. His kicking has not been great. 1 goal 3, but boy, he's a menace up there.
He's worked hard. He's had a tough opponent in Stephen Morris, and the only reason he hasn't really gone on top in the battle is that he hasn't finished off the word. So one goal 3. He should be 3 goals 1 kicking for his 4th, but he deserves another goal because he continues to work, continues to present.
And you can see the intent on his face as he straightened up, but he's missed. And he's even made it, but it's side bottom, touched.
Well,
he does know where to go to get a goal, doesn't he, side bottom?
how did Ivan Maris not punch that through? He could have marked it. He had an air swing, and they nearly got a goal out of it, Collingwood.
Side bottom's kicked 4 goals 3, so he could have kicked 5 for the day easily. Vickery. Alice. Running, kicking for Revolt. Well, he maintained the advantage. Ellis is going to come again.
Square it up. He's got Grigg. Yeah, he's got Grigg all on his own with his arms waved in the corridor. Here's the third eye. This is the hat of the goal umpire. That's that one there.
off the boot.
It looked like he kicked it off the deck, side bottom, but
hit the boot of the Richmond player Grimes.
Really good vision.
Marriage still working hard, trying to set up another opportunity for the Tigers, which comes now from McGuan, who passes into Revolt. And he wants to pass as well. And Ellis didn't mark it, didn't complete the contract. And now, a bit of fun time for the Collingwood players on the rebound. For Solo. Went and got it a couple of times. Blair, kick was run down. So it's all Richmond now, Marriage. And they'll get another opportunity. This time Jack knows I'll go back and have a shot.
Well, Dane Swan's been able to do it again. 33 disposals, 19 contested possessions. Now that's last 100 games.
And
been able to achieve so good.
He's tried to be too team orientated at times this season, Jack Revolt. Maybe he thought he couldn't make the distance.
Well, could have made the distance from there, surely. Jason's a big kick. Unless he's got nothing left. That did look like a throw. Great play. Bust through Revolt. And he just couldn't get it to break back.
Good pass.
Was.
Banana pass.
Surely got to run around. He does. And he's got it all worked out that time, Luke McGuan. It's a goal. So it's 28 points, which is probably a reasonable reflection of the sides in the afternoon.
They worked it well inside here. Rich, that looked out of play.
And then he threw it back in. Then he got tackled around the legs, Daniel Jackson.
Take the luck. Had a big shot at goal across the face, and McGuan was in the right spot. Had Alice there as a quick chip out. took it upon himself to finish the work.
Two goals, one. For Luke McGlone. 81,950. There's not quite as many as that left now. But there's all the Collingwood fans have stayed for the glory at the end of the game. Blair racks up a few extra numbers. He's had 16 for the day. Dylan Grimes, you see the hesitation on his face.
Picked out the one Collingwood player in amongst three Richmond players.
Lynch still working hard. Side bottom. Elliott again. Morris. Thomas. Pendlebury over the top. And Dwyer will enjoy himself as he runs into goal. What a contrast for Sam Dwyer after playing all those years in the VFL to be out here in front of 81,000 at the MCG wearing the famous black and white. Jono, what a thrill for the 26-year-old.
It is, and he deserved it as well. He was the one who intercepted the ball outside 50, goes in deep. Elliott with that good jump. But there he is again, so works from the kick in, side 50, and then runs to the goal square, and Pendlebury, unselfish, over the top. And as a player, you love those easy goals. ...17 disposals today for Dwyer.
He's been a workman-like effort, hasn't it? I mean, we've seen already better performances from him, but he's certainly been a contributor.
Fisolo. What about Brett Delidio's game, guys? 7 kicks only. He's had some 17 handballs to go with it.
Well, yeah, I was about to say as he turns it over that foot that he's too good a kick to be having that many handballs. But
it was a ratio early, wasn't it? And it was the whole Richmond side where their ratio was just out of whack a little bit, trying to run through with hands rather than get it forward by foot, where they had some good one-on-one battles going on, especially with Rewalt.
Pendlebury to Sinclair, another role player in this Collingwood team, this very, very good Collingwood team. And they have sent a strong message, not just to the competition, but to